Good evening. This is Monday, January 7th, 302 days until the 2008 presidential election. It is hard to believe that after 6 years of being buffeted by Republicans ranging from Saxby Chambliss to Dick Cheney to Rudy Giuliani about how only they can keep the nation safe from terrorism and that Democrats equal death, that any Democrat could walk into a primary polling booth in New Hampshire tomorrow and vote for a Democrat who has just done virtually the same thing. But in our fifth story in the countdown tonight, on a day in which she had already teared up at one moment and then attacked Barack Obama the next, on a day in which she had already invoked Martin Luther King and President Johnson in a dubious analogy to herself and Senator Obama, Senator Hillary Clinton this afternoon played the Al-Qaeda card. As a USA Today Gallup poll finding the one-time frontrunner once again lagging behind Senator Barack Obama, the latest lead, 13. They were tied in this survey just 3 weeks ago. Senator Edwards in third at 19%. Senator Clinton not crying about that this morning in a conversation with purportedly undecided voters in Portsmouth. Not crying at all, but close enough. In response to a question about how she does it, how does she keep so upbeat and so wonderful, Mrs. Clinton turning from upbeat to emotional.
This is very personal for me. It's not just political. It's not just public. I see what's happening, and we have to reverse it. And some people think elections are a game. They think it's like who's up or who's down. It's about our country. It's about our kids' futures. And it's really about all of us together. You know, some of us put ourselves out there and do this against some pretty difficult odds.
Sounds great, doesn't it, about it not being just political but also personal? Perhaps by personal, Senator Clinton meant personal attacks on her other candidates because in the very next sentence, instead of reversing it, she started to attack some rivals who sounded an awful lot like Senator Barack Obama. We rejoin the senator already in progress.
Against some pretty difficult odds. And we do it, each one of us, because we care about our country. But some of us are right and some of us are wrong. Some of us are ready and some of us are not. Some of us know what we will do on day one, and some of us haven't really thought that through enough.
It gets worse, as we mentioned later this afternoon at an event in Dover, Senator Clinton playing the fear card by pointing out that one day after Gordon Brown took office as the Prime Minister of Great Britain, there was a failed attempt at double bombings in Glasgow and London.
I don't think it was by accident that Al-Qaeda decided to test the new prime minister immediately. They watch our elections as closely as we do, maybe more than some of our fellow citizens do. They play our, allies. They do everything they can to undermine security in the world. So let's not forget that you're hiring a president not just to do what a candidate says he or she wants to do in an election. You're hiring a president to be there when the chips are down.
Alas, wait, there's more. As if having drawn inspiration from the Karl Rove playbook were not bad enough, Senator Clinton making another analogy in which she appears to be President Lyndon Johnson, and Senator Obama seems to be Dr. Martin Luther King. And not in a good way. Quoting her, Dr. King's dream began to be realized when President Johnson passed the Civil Rights Act. It took a president to get it done. Senator Clinton had been hoping to bait Mr. Obama into responding in kind to any of her comments today. She failed, the new frontrunner sticking with the positivity that seems to be fueling his success.
Some are thinking in terms of our constraints. And some are thinking about our limitless possibilities. And the American people are tired of hearing about why we have to be divided and why we have to shout at each other and why children have to be poor and why folks have to not have health care and why we've got to live in a politics of fear all the time and why we have to be afraid of each other. People are tired of that.
On the Republican side, the seeming almost home field advantage has seemingly not yet kicked in for former Massachusetts Governor Willard Mitt Romney, even in the state adjacent to the one he used to run, the Gallup poll among the Republicans, giving Arizona Senator John McCain a 4-point edge over Governor Romney, though the margin of error is 5 points. It's 21 points for McCain over former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. Despite, or perhaps because of those numbers, even Mr. Romney seemed to be getting on the Obama bandwagon this afternoon.
I brought change to every organization I've been involved with. That message, by the way, of bringing real change is sweeping the country. looking for somebody who's outside the Washington system that'll make a difference. Even Barack Obama on the other side of the aisle. Why is there such enthusiasm about Barack? It's in part because he's not one of the insiders.
That's a second-generation American politician talking there about being an outsider.